and welcome to what would be the 10th season of the Holistic Monitor. I'm your host, Nick Scogna, and today we're going to step into a fascinating exploration of what we call life energy, that underlying current that fuels our body, our mind, and even our spirit. This show is going to walk with you week by week, uncovering ideas from the self-awareness formulas, or SAF, a system pioneered by Joseph Scogna Jr. back in the 70s and 80s. These ideas may be new to you, or maybe you've brushed up against them before without having the framework to really understand them. Either way, the goal of this podcast is simple: to connect you with practical, life-changing ways to see your energy, your health, and your self-awareness in a new light. So let's start here. Everything is energy. That's not just a poetic statement, it's also grounded in physics and biology. The molecules in your body vibrate. Your heart emits measurable electromagnetic fields. Even your emotions create patterns of energy that can be picked up in your nervous system. What Joseph Scogna did with SAF was to take this idea that everything is energy and create a structured way of understanding how it flows in you, through you, and sometimes where it gets blocked. SAF isn't just about the body. It's about the connections between organs, glands, emotions, memories, and even past traumas that still echo in your present life now. Think of it as a roadmap. SAF doesn't diagnose or replace medicine, but it gives you a way to see patterns. Those patterns can explain why you feel stuck in cycles, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, and how to finally move beyond them. Now, you'll hear me talk a lot on this show about numbers, the SAF numbers. Why? Because SAF uses numbers as a symbolic language. Imagine that every organ, every gland, and every emotional state has a number that corresponds to it. When you answer SAF questionnaires or when infrared readings are taken, those answers are processed and translated into what's called a chain. That chain is like a sentence. So then it's therefore translated by someone that knows how to read the chain. It tells a story about your body and subconscious and what they're communicating. The key is that SAF gives us tools to interpret these stories without judgment, without guesswork. Instead, we're looking at energy as it is, objective, traceable, and ready to be released. And here's the powerful part. When you release blocked energy, you create space. And in that space, healing and growth naturally happen. So why does this matter today? In 2025, let's be honest, we live in a world where stress is constant. Radiant forces are everywhere, where the noise of daily life often drowns out our inner signals. Most of us weren't taught how to listen to our energy. We were taught to push through, to fix surface symptoms, to get back to work. But self-awareness is the opposite of pushing through. It's the art of pausing and saying, what's really happening here? That pause is often enough to shift your entire perspective. SAF makes the pause practical. It shows you the connections between your headaches and your stress levels, between digestive issues and unprocessed grief, between exhaustion and the way you've been carrying memories of the past. Once you see those patterns, you can begin to let them go. Joseph Scogna often said that SAF was a living system. It evolves with you. And that's part of what we'll do together on the show. Each week, I'll guide you into one piece of this puzzle, sometimes looking at the philosophy, sometimes the practical tools, sometimes real-world ways you can integrate this into your daily life. And here's something to keep in mind. SAF isn't just for practitioners or people in holistic medicine or wellness. It's for anyone who wants to understand themselves better. Parents use it to improve relationships with their kids. Couples use it to get clarity in communication. Individuals use it to finally address the things they've carried for years. So whether you're just curious or you're already on a healing path, SAF has something for you. As we wrap up today, I want to leave you with a reflection. Energy doesn't lie. If you've been ignoring your own signals, this is your invitation to start listening. And over the weeks ahead, this podcast will give you the tools to do just that. In our next episode, we'll dive deeper into the SAF story, how Joseph Scogna developed it, and why it still matters decades later. For now, take a quiet moment today. Put your hand on your chest, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, where is my energy today? That one question is the doorway to everything we're about to explore. Thanks for joining me here on the Holistic Monitor. If you'd like more resources, you can visit Life Energy Publications online to see how the system is being used today. Until next time, stay aware, stay balanced, and keep your energy flowing.
What we're saying here is that radiation in our terms could be anything coming from a source that was once sun-generated. Or, at the same time, it can be spiritually generated. In other words, radiation can be considered when an individual is yelled at by someone else. When someone gets angry at another person and radiates energy at them by yelling at them, then that could be considered radiation. And that can cause this breakdown sequence to occur. It could be food. It could be radiation coming from fluorescent lights, electrical wires, body odor from another person. Anything, any energy that interferes or intersects or interacts with the human body can cause this breakdown pattern to occur.